I think the Oscars is like the mother of red carpet.
This event sparks a lot of elegance and celebration around it.
It's the only time you get the jewelry that requires 2 to 3 security people.
Hi, my name is Petra Flannery. I'm a celebrity fashion stylist based in LA. Some of my clients are Emma Stone, Zoe Saldana, Reese Witherspoon, Renee Zellweger.
Hi, I'm Miranda Almond, and I'm Senior Fashion Editor at Harper's Bazaar, freelance stylist and VIP dresser. I dress Olivia Colman, Kristen Scott Thomas, Hayley Atwell for red carpet and press events.
Hi, I'm Aimee Croysdill and I'm a celebrity stylist. Throughout my career, I've styled lots of people from Daniel Radcliffe, Michaela Cole, most recently Nicola Coughlan from Bridgerton, Laura Haddock I've worked with for a long time. There's so many, all incredible, talented, amazing people.
Hi, I'm Georgia Medley. I am the fashion and accessories editor at Elle, and I'm also a fashion and celebrity stylist. I styled the Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton for the SAG Awards. Like, she's such a character. And then also Cush Jumbo. She's actually the first female to play Hamlet. They're my 2 most recent clients.
Hi everyone, my name is Zadrian Smith and I'm an international fashion director.
Hi, I'm Sarah Edmiston and I'm a stylist.
It's award season now, and for the BAFTAs, it was such an incredible night for us. We worked with Kingsley Benadir, Hookie Bakray, and Kassar Ali. As much as I like to applaud the big names, you know, I think I'm really excited about the young talent that we're working with, because this is the future, and their sentiment and the way that they act and their behavior is just so admirable.
So the new talent coming up like Bookie, who's amazing, and then also we're lucky to work with people like Kingsley, who used his BAFTA press time to actually ask people to vote for Bookie. And that's the joy for us. We have kind of got this client list that is this amazing group of people that are working really hard and really rooting for each other.
They're not asking in a competitive way, they're asking in a like genuinely interested, can I help, can I support, what can I do? So we do kind of feel like we've built this little tribe.
Yeah, it's great.
For me, working with celebrities especially, it feels like, you know, working with real people, there's a real connection there. And yeah, it's all about making people feel amazing at the end of the day.
I feel like my job fundamentally is to make them feel comfortable, to feel empowered, to feel good, to feel sexy, to feel whatever they need to feel in order to do the best job that they can do walking down that red carpet.
I love when somebody puts something on and they know that's it, that's what I want to wear, and they exude that on the carpet. And of course I want them to feel, you know, individualistic, you know, to have that kind of fashion persona.
When they're doing all these big gigs and stuff, the last thing you want to think about is, what am I going to wear? So what I love about it is just making them feel absolutely, you know, insane and amazing and just comfortable in what they're wearing. So yeah, I think that's the best part of it for me.
I think the Oscars is so important because it's the big one. I think it has the most history and tradition, and it's, you know, it takes place, the birthplace of movies, Hollywood. It just has like the heavyweight hitters, and it just feels like the most important one of the year.
I guess the Oscars is every actor's kind of pinnacle career moment, and we're all waiting patiently to see something elegant and exquisite, and it's definitely got this grace and elegance and history to it, where the gowns also quite often fit into that mold, so it's a totally different beast to like the Met Gala, for example. It just has this sense of like old Hollywood glamour that we don't really get anymore, and designers hold back all the good stuff. The finale outfits kind of come out from Couture Week. Yeah, it's special.
I think the Oscars is like the mother of red carpets when it comes to award season. You know, it's kind of the best till last kind of thing. All the other award seasons, obviously, we love them, but I feel they're just a help to kind of, they're a progress map to the Oscars, and there's just such a buzz about it, and it's such a big build-up that it just, you know, when the time is there for the red carpet, everyone's just kind of beside themselves because they're ready and waiting to see these iconic looks that everyone's going to come out in.
The Oscars is the Oscars. You know, it's no matter what you say, as an artist, as a creative, there is something really nice to just know that the work that you're creating is being applauded by your community and by other artists. So I think the Oscars has always been the biggest night. It's the biggest opportunity to just celebrate the amazing, great work over that year.
It's the best jewelry.
The best diamonds.
It's the best of the best.
The stylist, it's fun because you really do get to play with haute couture and, you know, playing with the finest of the finest
tier.
shoes.
It's the only time you get the jewelry that requires 2 to 3 security people.
Jewelry's very important. I think jewelry really, you know, it complements the look, it complements the silhouette. Like we always think of Angelina Jolie and her black Elie Saab gown that was like this perfect, simple silhouette. And then Lorraine Schwartz emerald earrings just created something that was a wow moment because they needed each other. The dress needed the earrings and the earrings needed the dress. And of course, I mean, she's extremely beautiful too. So it was something, you know, when you look at those moments, it all comes together.
One of my all-time favourite Oscars dresses was Cate Blanchett in Givenchy Couture 2011. I remember seeing it in the couture show and totally falling in love with it. And the way that it had this like romantic Grecian feel to it, but then the real like structure to the shoulders just made it feel so modern. And I've always been a massive fan of how Cate dresses, purely for that kind of like this elegance and real like feminine beauty, but then she always gives it an edge. So that dress just felt perfect for her. And yeah, it's been one of my favorite dresses forever, that dress, yeah.
My first favorite Oscar outfit is Jennifer Lawrence. It's when she won the Oscar for Best Actress. I think she wore a Dior couture gown. It was very classic shape, but just uber amazing. A kind of voluminous skirt, strapless, in a beautiful sort of like pinky cream color. And she had beautiful diamond earrings and a delicate necklace that sort of finished off the outfit perfectly, that she wore down her back, so it sort of made a little sort of contemporary twist on it. She just looked $1 million. She was a young actress. It was the first time she'd been nominated for an Oscar. She did that famous fall up the stairs when she went to collect her award, which she said was because she got caught up in the linings of the dress. But it just made that dress even more special, I think, because, the dress sort of fell so gracefully down the stairs with her, I think.
So one of my all-time favourite looks from the Oscars is Halle Berry in Elie Saab. I think it was in 2002. Yeah, she looked insane. She had this like short pixie hair and she just rocked it and she looked so elegant and so chic. During that time, it was kind of not common for women to kind of, you know, have shorter hairstyles, but I loved that she just owned that. And the dress, I think it's timeless, to be honest. I think that's why I picked it. I love the colours, the deep maroon, the sheerness on top. It's actually really current now to then transition into, you know, this kind of silk taffeta material. And I loved the floral kind of pattern across. She just looks really elegant, I think, and really chic. And you actually could still wear that today.
For me, hands down, no one has trumped Lupita Nyong'o in the custom powder blue Prada. The headband, like Michaela Erlinger, slam dunk, 10s across the board. But also why that was such an important night was because the film, 12 Years a Slave, she won because of her role as Patsy. And her acceptance speech when she kind of says, "This is for Patsy." This is a moment. Fashion just happens to be a part of it. She felt like herself. And I also think that was kind of the early stages of Lupita's fashion journey. So that just kind of really set her.
And she used her platform
to promote good. That for me was a full 360 moment.
I always think of, you know, the Oscars as very, obviously, very old world glamour. It kind of looked to like when Audrey Hepburn won her Oscar in Givenchy and the relationship she had with him and just that dress. She was so elegant. The silhouette was beautiful, and it was a time where things were very glamorous. Then fast forward to modern day, Emma Stone, when she won her Oscar for La La Land, she was also wearing Givenchy. She was the first person to win an Oscar in Givenchy since Audrey Hepburn. Emma's dress was incredible. It was hand beaded, gold and bronze. Some of the crystals had to be painted because they weren't quite the right color, so they would actually hand paint after them already being hand beaded. You know, that dress was extremely heavy, but it's kind of odd. Sometimes a dress like that, though, when you put it on, the weight of it will it balances you out, and it does help like give you like this position, so it's interesting, like as much as you think like, oh, this heavy dress is gonna, weigh someone down, it really doesn't. It actually is kind of uplifting. So the accessories for that look too were incredible. She wore a pair of Tiffany gold and diamond earrings. There was something about them that when we put them on, it just, everything became magic. And they were fringe. It was like a little bit of a nod to La La Land, because the whole, dancing and movement. And so that kind of felt like it was right for this occasion.
My experience with an Oscars example was I did Sally Hawkins when she was nominated for supporting actress in Blue Jasmine. We did an exclusive with Valentino Couture. We knew that was kind of solidified quite early on, and then it was all about just choosing which Valentino Couture gown we could choose from, which was, magic in itself. Because we fit the dress in the UK and the Oscars is in LA, we had to do the diamonds in LA. So they were the period between having the dress, the look, the shoes and everything ready and the diamonds being added in. There's quite a big gap, just logistically. And obviously we had ideas of what we would use and brands that we were talking to, but you can't really confirm that until you've got them in your hands. And the accessories should really be the icing on the cake rather than stand out and clash against anything.
For the Oscars, this was Oscars 2020 actually, so last year, and it was Olivia Colman. She wore a Stella McCartney dress that they made specially for her. She actually dyed her hair the day of the event, so that was a big surprise. But she looked amazing, so she went from brunette to blonde. The day before, she was brunette, and I got to her hotel room in the morning to get her ready, and she opened the door and she was blonde. So, wow, okay. We had some beautiful Swarovski jewellery that we'd sort of chosen especially to go with the dress. The day went by in a bit of a whirlwind, really. It's always so nice to get ready together in the hotel. It's a real sort of like family affair at that point.
Well, I was probably around 8 or 10 when I was aware of the Oscars fashion. My parents would take us to a home in their best friend's home in San Francisco, and it was a very like elegant home, and everybody was dressed up. I wasn't maybe completely in tune with fashion, but I knew this event sparks a lot of elegance and celebration around it.
For me, one of the most memorable moments was when Gwyneth Paltrow won her first Oscar and she wore that like Duchess satin pink little strappy dress. That year Shakespeare in Love just cleaned up all the awards, so I feel like that got a real kind of momentum behind it. So I think that's probably my first memory.
So I think I became aware of the sort of the red carpet, the Oscars fashion. I think it was around the 90s. Martha Plimpton came to the Oscars with River Phoenix. And she was quite a sort of young, unknown actress, quite cool into that sort of grunge look. And she wore the most amazing gown. It was like a vintage satin 1930s. And she just looked so cool and brilliant. She'd sort of gone total old school Hollywood glamour with River Phoenix looking very dashing in his dinner suit. They just looked like the sort of ultimate cool Hollywood couple. And I think it was then that I sort of took a real moment and thought, oh yeah, this is a great showplace for things like this. This is like making me interested in it, yeah.
I kind of grew up watching all the old classic Hollywood movies, Singin' in the Rain in particular. And I remember in the first scene, there was Gene Kelly and he had his lady on his arm, but I think she was like his co-star. And they were on the red carpet and he's in this like amazing suit. And I think that's when I fell in love with the kind of 50s Hollywood and seeing all the dresses and all the glam. So from then, I think, and then I would look at magazines and see, celebrities on the red carpet. And then I just naturally did my research and developed from then. I think that's where I kind of get my love for it.
My second favorite Oscars look was Zoe Saldana wearing a haute couture dress from Givenchy. Was a purple and lavender creation that Riccardo Tisci did at the time, and then it had these crazy big puffs of purple at the bottom. This was back in 2010, 10, and it was even then it was a little bit different, you know. And I remember, I was like, my gosh darn it, I'm gonna get that dress. And we did. We were traveling at the time. It was a process, but I was knocking down doors to get that dress. I knew it was the one, and it was. We tried it on, and it really was.
So my second favorite Oscar look is from back in the 70s, and it was Lauren Hutton. And she was going to the Oscars, and she wore a Halston dress. Very simple. She wore no jewelry for this, but she's just got that sort of 100-watt smile anyway, so she doesn't need any diamonds. And it was just super simple, but she just looked so brilliant in it. It was effortless, timeless, everything you'd want from an Oscar dress. And she had that Hollywood tan as well that just sort of showed it off so well.
I'm such a Halston fan, and it was so Halston referential. But Gwyneth Paltrow and Tom Ford, the cleanness and all the clean lines, and I just love a cape. I have an irrepressible love for cuffs and capes, so it fired on all cylinders for me. The fabric too was an unusual one to choose for carpet because it's traditionally used as more of a day fabric, but it had a density to it that gave weight to all the white.
And then this whopper of a diamond bangle, just feels so modern and so clean, and I love that clean aesthetic from the tailoring. It was just impeccable tailoring. But also it just feels so timeless, even though it feels so modern. It's stunning.
So my second favourite Oscars look of all time, I'd have to say is a more recent one, is Amanda Stenberg in Miu Miu, and I think, 2019. It was kind of like a chainmail dress that she had on, and it was just so elegant and really chic. And it kind of was like a touch on the 1920s, but modernised. I loved how she tied in that Afro hairstyle with the development of the natural hair movement and Afro hair. It was just refreshing to see, really. So I think she looked stunning.
I think for something like the Oscars, you can plan, a good 6 weeks in advance, maybe even 2 months. A lot of planning goes into it. Sketches, designs, fittings. There's a lot of work that goes into making that dress look super perfect for the night. I think you've done a good job if your client is happy. No matter what the critics say, if they are happy, then that's all that matters.
I think we have two markers. One is when all our clients sit together at something and they look nothing like each other. We know then we did a great job and they all look like them. And the other one is when, we actually were talking about it this morning, when we're in a fitting and someone starts like...
dancing. If they start dancing, you've nailed it. I think for me, I always end every fitting by saying, are you comfortable, confident, happy? And if one of those is a no, you don't have to look. If everything is a yes, then you've nailed it. Our priority and the most important thing for us is our client's comfort above everything. Because as long as they're comfortable, confident, and happy, you've done your job.
Building a trust with a client can take years. I've had my clients for a very long time, and I think it's because we've had the experience of having all of these years together and being able to have that element of trust. That's very important. It takes people years to find out what's the best color for them, what's the best silhouette, what works. So I always like to have what I know the client's gonna like, but I also like to have something that maybe pushes them just a little more and it surprises them. Along that time, it builds a rapport that you get more comfortable, and you get to a point that hopefully that they feel like, okay, yes, that's exactly what I was looking for.